Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Gibson Park for another Wednesday night concert by the Great Falls Municipal Band. We'd like to start with the national anthem. Please rise. And the flag is right here. thanks so much. Great to see this crowd here. Perfect concert weather, perfect night to be out in the park. I'll remind you that this is our 130th consecutive season of this band, and yeah, we're wrapping up for another 100, so we'll be around. Come back. That first piece was by Claire Grunman, a very prolific composer. In fact, all of the music we're playing tonight, with one exception, these composers have written numerous band pieces. And with the exception of one, all of them are American composers. Most of them are college professors, but some of them work commercially, which I'll explain in a little bit. So what we'd like to do now is a Norwegian march. This is the one non-American composer in here, Johannes Hansen, but it's notable for a couple of reasons. Number one, he was born the same year as this band started, 1894. He was the Oslo military band commander for quite some time in his prime, around World War II time. And he wrote this march. It's called Valdres. Valdres is a portion of Norway between Bergen and Oslo, a very beautiful part of Norway. And so he tried to take some of the local color, some of the local songs, and this beautiful melody that you hear at the beginning will be played by Mr. John Gimberlin. I heard about a neighbor that was having trouble with skunks under his porch. And, another guy said, well, what have you tried? And he said, well, I don't want to shoot them and make a big stink. He said, I've tried some mothballs. And the guy said, lutefisk. And he says, you got to be kidding me. And no, he said, lutefisk. And he said, well, I'll give it a try. The guy saw him a couple weeks later. He said, how did that work out? He said, skunks are gone. Can't get rid of the Norwegians. Our next piece is called Relax. It's by Paul Yoder, a guy born in the early 1900s in Tacoma. Went to University of North Dakota, where Mr. Alan Johnson also attended, probably not at the same time. And a week later. And very prolific composer. If you were in band in the 50s, 60s, or 70s, you played some of Paul Yoder's stuff, and you may even have used some of his beginning band methods. So we're going to play Relax, and it has a whole different color to it. You're going to hear bass clarinet and bari sax, and featuring oboe and some instruments that a lot of times are background instruments. They get a starring role in this one. Relax by Paul Yoder. hard not to relax listening to that, isn't it? Yeah, that's fun stuff, fun stuff. Next, we're going to just do some beautiful sounds. Not a foot tapper at all. It's actually the Kansas State Song, written by a man way back at the early part of the 20th century, and then picked up by the University of Kansas band director and arranged it for concert band. He teaches orchestration at his college, and that means how to make each part assigned to each person in the band or in the orchestra. And the way he has orchestrated this is just some beautiful sounds. So this is a real relax. Home on the Range. Isn't that lovely? That's just so nice to listen to. I have the best seat in the house too, by the way. I want to make a few announcements very shortly. First of all, to recognize our sponsors, and we really appreciate these folks year after year come back and help us get through these seasons, pay the rent, keep the lights on, and fix a few instruments and buy a piece of music here and there. So they are Dean Zook, PhD, Horizon Credit Union, Montana Credit Union, Thelma and John Zeller Incorporated, and the Wayne Kelly family. And Mr. Kelly is here. I don't think he ever misses a concert, do you? Thank you very much. Bud isn't here tonight. I'm Dennis Granley. I'm a retired music educator here in Great Falls. Bud wouldn't be here anyway because it was All-Star Week, and the only thing more important than municipal band to Bud was the All-Star game. So he always got a guest conductor to come in and take over for that week. Speaking of guest conductors, that's the way we operate lately since Bud retired. We have a number of real capable band directors, conductors in our band, many of whom aren't here tonight because they're in the pit at University of Providence getting ready for tomorrow night's opening of Oklahoma. So I'd really like to encourage you to go see that. It's going to be top-notch stuff. This is adult new theater company for Great Falls. We sometimes dismiss amateur as not good. this is an amateur band, and that's amateur theater, but it's going to be almost professional level. So I encourage you to go out and see that. The other thing I'd like to say is how much I appreciate the musicians behind me. These folks come out here every week, every Tuesday night. They're in rehearsal for a couple hours, and then they come out and do a concert for you. And they love playing, but they love playing to an audience. So let's give them a hand just for commitment. So now we're going to play that march that I had mentioned that was not the prolific composer. This is a KMB march, Kiel Municipal Band. Now, this is a baby band compared to us. They've only been in business for 95 years. But Edgar Thiessen was their conductor for 50 years, kind of a Bud Nichols of Kiel, Wisconsin. And among the other things that he was noted for is this march that he wrote for their band. It just so happens that Edgar Thiessen went to Vandercook College of Music, where several of us band directors in the state, and in particular in Great Falls, attended. I see Dennis Dell in the audience. Dennis is a Vandercook graduate. I'm a graduate. Dusty Molyneux is a graduate. Ron Coons, who would normally be here if he weren't in the hospital, is a Vandercook grad. Who else? Any others? Okay. Oh, Larry Roughton, late trumpet player. So a bunch of us from Vandercook, and we got to know Edgar Thiessen, he pronounces it, one of those guys that played in his band named Kananer, Ron Kananer. That's a pretty good Wisconsin name. Anyway, he put us on to this march, and so right after I got done with grad school in '82, I bought the march, played it once, haven't played it since. So you're going to get to hear it tonight. KMB March, Kiel Municipal Band. You know, I mentioned all the conductors in this band. We have to be really careful about thunderstorms with all these conductors. We can... Just in April, Dale, you remember Dale? Harry Belafonte passed away at age 96. So Dale, the Banana Boat song is probably his most famous. His second one is probably Jumping the Line, but you may know it as Shake, Shake, Shake. What's her name?
Show sounds done.
Shake, Shake, Shake. Sonora, yeah. You'll recognize the tune. Harry brought calypso music to the United States and made it a popular kind of thing. So we're going to play a little bit of Harry Belafonte calypso for you. You recognize the tune, right? Oh yeah, all right. Frank Cofield worked for the Hal Leonard Publishing Company, and he wrote a whole bunch of music to make money for Hal Leonard, and he worked for salary. Probably if he'd worked for commissions or royalties, he'd have been a pretty wealthy man, but lots of good high school age level band music and some middle school. This one we're going to show off our sag butts. That's the old name for trombone. And so we're going to have the sag butts up here and Trombonenza. You may not recognize the name John Kakavas, but you would recognize the theme to Hawaii Five-0, perhaps, or Kojak, or Airplane 77, or any number of TV and movie things that he wrote for. But he also realized there was a market for band music out in the public, so he started composing band music as well. This one is called La Polka de Paris, and if you look this up on YouTube, what you're going to find is a Disney character and a different La Polka de Paris, I guess. And so this is John Kakavas' version of La Polka de Paris. Thank you so much for being here. Please rise, sing a couple of verses of choruses of Montana. Words are on the back of the program if you're not familiar.
Yeah.